Welcome to another year in Marvel. I'm Antonio Alcazar.
And I'm Jason Techno.
We almost didn't record this one today.
Yeah, it's ugly. That's for sure. It got a little rough.
Yeah, the storm was pretty bad. The snow is pretty intense.
Just for me and you, pretty much. Like, I've seen a lot of other people that we know. They were like, yeah, nothing.
Yeah,
or 3 inches.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we were talking to people out in Heartland this morning, and they're just like, did it snow over there?
I have friends from up in like Oshkosh area, and they were like, we didn't even get a drop of snow. It was There's been Dave in general had almost nothing this year.
Yeah,
They've had two storms north.
It was like 2 feet of snow last night.
It was pretty fucking ridiculous.
Okay,
but we're not here to be meteorologists. We're here to talk to you about WandaVision. I'm sure that's why you tune in. Instead, we're going to just jump into this episode, and you'll have to listen to Fox 6 for your weather report.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Give us that rundown.
I'll give you the rundown. Here we are. We're starting off with a Halloween spooktacular. I think that's what was the name of the episode, in fact.
Yep.
No cold open this time. Instead, right into a Malcolm in the Middle style intro. Did you ever watch this show?
Yeah, Malcolm in the Middle, of course.
Yeah.
And I recognized it right away.
Yeah, of course. The minute it like zoomed in and started hitting the music, I was like, okay, cool. I'm in on this.
It almost sounded like You're Not the Boss of Me Now.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's what, of course. It's,
sure. But it was like so close.
Right, of course. They love doing that. I mean, they've probably got John C. Reilly on payroll writing this fucking shit, so... kids start the show, and they're like the Malcolm in the Middle sort of thing. They give the narration for what's going on. New Quicksilver is in the house. He's sleeping on the couch. Wanda shows up in her old school uniform. Quicksilver starts messing with Wanda right away. It flashes back to a funny Kid Quick and Wanda typhus memory. That made me crack up for a second.
What?
You can edit that. There was like a memory of them in Zirkovia.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Them getting a fish.
But that wasn't at that moment.
Yeah, it was. Because he wakes up, he's fucking with the kids for a second.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's how that.
She's like, I don't really remember.
I don't remember it like that. Yeah, exactly. Vision shows up in his old school uniform as well. He's going to head out to the neighborhood watch for the evening. Pedro is going to go with the kids so that he can cover for Vision. Clearly, we see Vision is up to something at this scene, though. He looks very odd in his expressions. Pedro dresses up as old school.
I like that you're calling him Pedro.
Yeah. What am I supposed to call him?
Pietro is his name.
No, I'm not one of those people.
Pedro is a whole different name.
I'm fucking Bill the Butcher. I will teach you how to speak English with this knife. I do it my way. What's funny? My old lady talks shit about me all the time with that. She'll be like, because I'll just call people like Ramon or whatever, like Jesus and stuff like that. She'll be like, his name is Ramon. I'm just like, Ramon.
I see like pronunciations like that. Like, okay, don't go overboard. You know? Like if you saw me every day and you're like, hey, how's it going, Antonio? Every time, I'd be like, bro, you don't have to do that. But Pedro and Pietro are two different names.
Petro. So
Petrol.
Right. Okay. So we jump over to Sword, and they bring back the drone that was dragged out from the situation earlier with Wanda. Monica attempts to be important at the situation and really flex nuts. Does not go well, though, because the Sword director drops some awesome blasts on her, in my opinion. Finally, does the right thing, in my opinion, and gets rid of them. Johnny Woo and Monica jump the guards that are trying to get him off the base and go undercover as Sword members. I'm going to have to give no, we'll talk about that later. Jumps back to trick-or-treat time. Wanda tries to fuck with Petro to see if he's like really the real Petro or if he's imposter or there's something wrong. Yeah. However, he remembers all the same thing she remembers, just slightly different. Petro is he
remembers dying.
Yeah. But that's brought up later.
Yeah.
Petro is very much the fun guy. He drops a kick-ass insider joke, which I laughed at.
He didn't drop it.
Yeah, he does.
The little boy did.
What? I thought he said something earlier about kick-ass. The kid repeated kick-ass later, and then that's when she's like, kick-ass. Right, exactly. Sure. Yeah, so either way, it doesn't matter. Neighbor lets Wanda know that Vision isn't on duty tonight, and clearly he lied to her about something. Vision does some walking around to try to discover what's going on and finds a weird family doing very repetitive shit over and over as the mom drops a tear out of her eye. Very funny 1990s style commercial kicks in for Yo Magic. This is such a this is such a 90s thing.
I was a kid in the 90s.
Yes,
right?
of course. So was I.
No, you were like 25 in the 90s.
Yeah, of course, right. Because I was born in 1980.
But I was like, I was 2 in 1990.
Yes.
So like when this shit was coming out, that was like 98. You know? So I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
I was watching, like Fox Kids in the morning.
Of course.
Power Rangers and shit. And these types of commercials were constant. Weird ass commercials.
Yeah, for sure.
The 90s kids commercials were so fucking weird.
They're really
Capri
in
Sun
touch.
ones.
Yes, with these commercials and how to place them very well with the type of product that, was in at the time and whatnot. And they've done really well so far throughout all this. I'm really anxious to see what they do for their like little 2000s one.
Sure, yeah.
Be interesting. All right. Nighttime trick-or-treating. Petro sort of drops some knowledge here, brings up some of the past stuff going on with them, how she called him here, what's kind of going on. And he makes a joke about what happened to she makes a joke about what happened to your accent, and he hits her back with what happened to yours. Kids start to unlock their mutant powers at this point in time. They get to go on their own, and they're warned, of course, not to go past Ellis Avenue. Jump back to the CW crew breaking into Sword. They start to unlock what's actually going on.
I love that you just laughed at your own joke.
What joke? And that Vision is being tracked rather than Wanda, which kind of gets them thinking about what's actually going on here. Finds out there's a whole bunch of people at the edge of town that are just kind of stalled out. We cut over to Vision. He's walking into that part of town, and everything is fucked right here. Everything's sort of in stop motion. Vision pulls a bit of a Superman scene, taking everything in, and he sees Agnes's car stalled on Ellis Avenue. He unlocks her, showing that even she's trapped in this situation, and she kind of goes mad at this point in time with a lot of laughter and stuff of that nature, but like an insane laughter. Mm-hmm. She starts to wonder if she's dead because, and this is when she reveals to Vision that he's actually dead right now. Wanda won't even let them think about leaving the Hex. Vision decides he's going to head out of the Hex at this point, and Darcy reveals that Monica has cancer. She doesn't care, though, and she's ready to go back in, trying to reach Wanda and end this whole situation. Wanda and Petro talk for a while. Petro is sort of her conscience in this scene, this situation, kind of asking her how she did these things, why she did these things, and whatnot. She reveals that this is mostly power that she didn't even know she had before. It was all unlocked, and has a small freak out when she sees her brother dead, kind of like the Vision scene earlier in the show. Darcy unlocks that they're trying to harvest Vision for some kind of weapons capability is what they assume. Vision attempts to break through the Hex. Sword runs out to see the breach, and he's kind of falling apart and getting pulled back into the Hex as he's kind of dying, clearly. The second kid unlocks his mutant power at this point in time and can feel Vision's pain. He runs to warn his mom. Wanda flexes the shit out of her powers at this point in time and expends the Hex. Most of Sword is sucked in, Darcy's sucked in, and we cut to 7 minutes of credits. Sorry, let me fix something there. I said wrong. 7.5 minutes of credits this time around.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so 2 things I want to start with before we go any further, though, okay? Right off the bat, because we need to start off with 2 apologies.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
2 apologies.
All right.
First apology is from Antonio to Jason, that he was absolutely right about Wanda controlling the situation, and the second apology is again from Antonio to Jason because he was absolutely right about which one was the better Quicksilver.
Okay, what? Why? What changed?
This episode revealed how much better this Quicksilver is than that other Quicksilver.
Why?
Because there's no chance MCU Quicksilver could have pulled off the comedy, because Quicksilver in this episode was the best thing of this episode, and like his whole demeanor and how he was and everything like that.
I'm not like watching this for the comedy.
And I was like, man, there's no way MCU. Yeah,
you were just like, wow,
this is so fucking good.
The Fox Quicksilver is such a clown compared to the other one.
So much better.
Yeah, and making you laugh. He's entertaining, like, he's making jokes.
Entertaining.
He's like
level.
A clown to you.
I like to watch shows to be entertained.
Sure, yeah,
be entertained.
Yeah,
so
like a clown.
It's funny that you bring up clowns.
He makes you laugh.
Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, that's fine. We can quickly move on from that, though. All right.
Also, let's talk a little bit about Wanda controlling.
Sure.
Things. Okay. So I think it's going to go one of 2 ways.
Okay.
Either Wanda is doing this, which I don't think.
Sure.
If Wanda's doing this, then we have no antagonist.
It's definitely impossible that Wanda's not doing this.
If Wanda's doing this alone, then we have no antagonist, and that's going to be weird. Wanda is too much of like the good guy stuff.
No, she's not the good guy. Vision's the good guy.
Well, I get that, but Wanda's also not the bad guy.
I see. I disagree with that.
Okay, all right. I don't think that that's the Disney play.
That's what we're here for.
I think that the Disney play is that Wanda is doing this with somebody else.
That's very childish. I hope that's not the scene.
I think that's the Disney play. I think that's the comic book. You might be right. That might also be the comic book play too. Because in the comic book, a lot of what happened with Wanda bringing people back to life and her kids and stuff was Mephisto. And they might make that the play here, or Mephisto or the witch.
I've heard that rumor going around, and I hate the idea. Mephisto is a stupid character in my opinion. First place,
they'll change him to be better or to fit better in the MCU.
Right. He's not going to be a devil boy. He'll be like in a suit and shit like that, and kind of very slick and whatnot.
Or he'll be like some kind of Asgardian celestial kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where like it won't be a demon.
Right.
Or
clearly they're not going to go.
It could be devil or whatever it is, because this show specifically moves into Doctor Strange in the
but see, here's the thing,
and his whole demon.
But they've cut that. No, see, they've changed it. I would agree with you if they would have kept Doctor Strange how he's supposed to be.
Sure,
but instead of being what he was supposed to be, they turned him into Chinese Inception kung fu. Which is fine.
They stopped it from being the like actual demon magic,
right,
and pulled it into being like
a kung fu style. Right?
Magic.
Yeah, it's like a. It's definitely like a higher state of mind kung fu style, magic, which
rather
is fine.
Than literally hell magic,
right? Rather than literally hell magic, which is cooler to me.
I think it could be like a multi-dimensional entity.
Okay,
that's going to play a bigger part in the second Doctor Strange movie. But I think that it's more likely that Disney won't make her the bad guy.
Well, let me get into some of that stuff, because I'm going to break down why you're right, and it disappoints me greatly.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, then I rescind my apology.
Let me ask you a question. What did you think of the episode?
I liked it. Okay. I like them all so far. There's this one was more of like this one wasn't like last week's episode.
Sure.
There's been a couple of episodes this season where I've been like, oh shit, that was so fucking cool.
Yes.
And this episode, I was just like, okay, this is the show, and I'm into it.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't like, oh my god, but I was definitely entertained the whole time. Okay. This was more of like a bridge episode.
Yep.
Where like now I can't wait to see the next one.
It wasn't filler per se.
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
But it had parts of filler.
It was like a setup of an episode.
Sure.
The big what's going to fucking happen next week or in a couple of days is very interesting to me, especially since they just announced that the last 3 episods of the season are going to be hour-long episodes.
So 40 minutes and then 20 minutes of credit.
Sure. I mean, I'll take an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
But I am also super excited to find out who Monica Rambeau's super secret dude is.
The guy on the inside?
Yeah, that's talked for
two
episodes now.
You know what the rumor is of that? Have you heard any rumors of that?
What?
Of who that's going to be?
I hope. I haven't heard any rumors. I haven't seen this in any articles. In fact, I have purposely been avoiding articles.
You're pulling a me. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, because I just don't want anything. Right. I don't want anything Quicksilver level revealed to me anymore. Yeah. But I was talking to a friend of mine, because I hadn't even really been thinking about it.
Sure.
I figured it was, I can't even remember who I figured it was going to be, but I just figured it was going to be some established character. And my friend Dan was like, I think it's going to be Reed Richards.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah?
That's what the rumors that I've heard as well.
If it's Reed Richards, I'll cry. I'll stand up and start clapping with tears in my eyes. Reed Richards is my favorite MCU or Marvel character. Really? Yeah. My favorite character in all of Marvel is Reed Richards.
Wow, that's crazy to me, but cool. That's cool. That makes sense. That tracks with everything else I know about you. And that's not an insult at all. Yeah. That totally tracks. And he's a big important part in in the comics. He was a very important part in the multi-universe sort of thing going on.
He's the multiverse guy,
right? Exactly,
because he's fucking with it,
right? So for me, I'm glad we're somewhat on the same track. This definitely was a step down from the last episode, in my opinion. It's not like I've heard. It's not like I thought it was bad. Because the last episode,
we started seeing it really start to crumble.
Right, it started to flex.
Yeah.
And let me get into a couple of reasons why I thought it was a little bit bad. I want to bring up a funny thing. Clearly, this show was supposed to come out last year, and clearly, this episode was supposed to come out in October. Because, it's very awkward to me to have a Halloween episode in the middle of winter. Like, it just feels off because almost always Halloween specials are around Halloween. But they couldn't, like, when they've already got everything storyboarded, they can't just go, well, let's make it Valentine's Day, or something like that, because you really can't do that. And they really flex the whole Vision harping on the fact that there were no kids last week, and now all of a sudden there's kids everywhere, right? And they kind of Quicksilver kind of makes mentions of it. Where were you hiding all these kids? You know, where the fuck were these kids? But okay, so because
I don't think she's bringing anyone back to life.
Sure.
I think that she's keeping everyone maybe under control, and she's creating the reality distortion. But I don't think that she's bringing anybody back to life. I think that Vision and Pietro and the kids are something that she didn't do.
Okay. You know, I know the difference here between me and you on this, but man, the Johnny Woo Darcy stuff in Monica
actually,
is
okay.
so CW.
Okay, hold on.
Like,
let me maybe blow your mind a little bit. I'm starting to get a little tired of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's you that's doing this to me.
Right. No, it's you know what it is? A friend of mine, I'll bring up a couple things that we talked about. He said the reason why he thinks that this is here, because I expressed to him too that I didn't like it, is that the show other than them is so heavy and dark that they have to have that to like counterbalance and like Disney it up a little bit, which I can kind of see.
Here's the two things I didn't like. I didn't like that Johnny Woo whooped the shit out of those guards.
Sure, yeah.
That just kind of stood out to me because he's never in anything that we've seen him. Well, I mean, we've only seen him once before, but like in the times that we've seen him, he's always just kind of been like a dude, you know, like an FBI guy, and like not a superhero,
right.
And Monica, I haven't seen anything of her. She's a sword agent, so maybe she was trained really well. But Johnny was just like an FBI guy, agent, and those were sword agents, and so he whooped their asses, like
and like not just sword agents, the sword agents that assist you off the ground. You usually like don't
send, right,
exactly. You don't send like a weakling to assist, like because the point is if they get rough, you get the fuck rid of them anyways, right? So
the fact I didn't like that took me out. And then the other one that also kind of stood out to me was when Darcy started hacking Sword. I was like, why does she know how to hack? She's an astrophysicist,
right?
You know? She's not like a fucking hacker.
You know, it's one of those
little things like that. And now this is a nitpick.
Okay.
But when are we going to stop seeing human beings get knocked out? I'm just done with that trope. That's not how it happens. And now that everyone knows, no one gets knocked out like that. They die if they were knocked out that long. Can we stop using it as a fucking, like, that's like a movie... That's like poor writing now to me. That's how it stands.
It's one of those things.
And it's everywhere. And it's everywhere and it'll always be everywhere. But it's just, okay, so you give me that, and then you give me them whipping their asses, and then you give me Darcy hacking into stuff, and I'm just like, you guys, you're slipping.
So here's the thing, right? And let me talk about one thing that I didn't like besides that.
They all seem like contrivances.
I'll get to why in my opinion in a second. We also found out that last week we questioned how the writing is going to go because of how is the neighbor in the know or not the know, and that's why she's able to like go, hey, you want to start over, and then she's being controlled. So then I had a question like, okay, so she's being controlled. But maybe it's that she was only being controlled once she tried to leave, and she was getting close to the barrier, and that's why she got locked into the brain control. But I'm not sure that's the case.
Or this is going to sound silly, like a clown joke. Or she's playing along, and so is the other neighbor.
I can't.
And he's Mephisto, and she's the witch.
No, I can't. There's. It doesn't sound like a clown joke, but like, there's no chance that's the case. Okay. I know, because we want more. Like, we want more, but it's not going to be more, unfortunately. Okay. Like, we'll maybe get Reed Richards, but it'll be just a nod to Reed Richards. Or you know what it's probably going to be?
If it's like straight up Reed Richards.
You know what it's probably going to be? Unfortunately,
what?
It might end up just being Doctor Strange.
Oh no,
you don't think so?
No.
Why not?
Because why?
Because like. I don't know. She's not really connected to Doctor Strange, but
not yet. They will be in the movie together,
of course. So but here's the thing, right? So let me explain why I think that you have the issues that I have as well with it. Because so when we watched like Mandalorian, and the only thing I can compare Disney Plus to is Mandalorian because Mandalorian's their only other original show.
Yeah.
Mandalorian is like watching Star Wars, but like in a TV show, like a TV show format of Star Wars taken out over a long period of time. Okay.
Yeah.
WandaVision is like a combination of movies and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The way Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that was created and the way movies are created.
It's like they have TV writers.
Right.
And the
parts
TV writers are just like, well, we'll write it like TV.
Yes, exactly that. I think that's exactly the issue because the Darcy, and that's why I kept on like referring to it as like the CW crew because it feels very like DC. Because like I still watch like I've been watching Stargirl recently, and Stargirl is a little bit better than just basic DC CW because it actually started off on HBO.
It's better than Supergirl.
It's much better than Supergirl, but it's not like it's not good. Sure. I have it on in my background and stuff like that. Yeah. But I switched over to Mindhunter this week because I couldn't watch any more Stargirl. So, but like
that's when it's good.
Yeah. I'm just like it's not bad.
Actually, that's not true. Peaky Blinders. I'm almost done with it. Yeah. But I had to take a break in between season 3 and 4, even though it's fucking good and every season has been good. I had to take a break.
Yeah.
I was pretty for a little bit there. I was like, I need a breather.
Yeah, I mean that's like anything, any show. Like no show can be Forensic Files for me, where I watch 9 seasons in a row.
I mean, I watch The Office without breaks.
Sure,
that's really like in the background.
It's a comedy.
Kind of stuff.
I mean,
it's much more lighthearted.
Last week, you said to me that my problem with the Zircovian accent is just
it's silly
for me.
Yeah,
I now know why I hate the Zircovian accent.
Okay.
You compared it to Tolkien.
Yeah,
and and that made me realize why I hate it now.
Okay.
At no point do the Dothraki speak out of Dothraki, except for like one-off situations.
Yeah.
Same thing with like the elves and stuff. When they talk to each other, they talk in Elvish to each other.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then otherwise there's no accent.
Right, and then there's no accent. Right, the Dothraki talk in Dothraki, except for like a couple scenes, one with Khal Drago, and then one with like the calls when they're deciding what to do with Daenerys before she kills all of them or whatever. Right? And they kind of speak broken, but they're speaking in their languages almost all the time. Yeah. It really makes no, like if Marvel wanted to be high level, your Zircovian accent would have been, they would have speak Zircovian and had subtitles for us to read and shit.
They make a conlang for it. I'm always I'm a very big language guy.
Yeah, I know you are, because you love world building and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And conlangs to me are they're signs of like immersion.
Sure.
You really want me to care.
Yeah, man.
Feel like they're real.
Right.
And so the fact that Sokovia had an accent, but I don't think that we've ever seen them speak in Sokovian.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I don't think any of them ever.
I don't think so.
I can't remember. And if they have, it was brief. It was so brief I can't even remember it.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool if like Pietro and Wanda, when we first met them, were only speaking in Sokovian for a little while. I would have thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
And even if like Ultron talked to them.
He should be speaking. Yeah,
that'd be so cool.
He controls the internet at certain points. So he has access to everything.
When he first met them and kind of recruited them in, he spoke to them in Sokovian.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
That is up there. Like that's pushing the.
Could you imagine James Spader doing that accent as Ultron in a robotic version? Yeah. Oh my God, that'd have been so shit.
Honestly, so shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. James Spader's a pretty
He's
good
amazing.
Actor.
But
he's a good actor. I believe him. Whenever he's being intense, I believe him.
So, okay, why I agree with you, and it's one of the reasons why I had problems with this episode was the whole them tracking Vision and them mining Vision for weapons. I dislike that extremely.
Is that actually what's happening?
Yeah,
now?
because like in when she's like, I forgot the sword member's name, but she's like, you son of a whatever, and it shows her, like I rewound it and paused on it, and it's like weapons programs and stuff like that written in the background, and then Vision files and all this other stuff. So it's clearly like they're trying to like what is that called? Re-engineer, like reverse engineer him to like figure out how to like create like their own weapons and whatnot. And so here's the thing,
but that makes sense. Look at General Ross. That's
okay, so exactly
shit.
why we've already done this with Iron Man. Like this was an exact story with Iron Man and War Machine, and that was like their whole thing and whatnot. And so.
I mean, all of them, though. Hydra, too. You know, like, they've all been trying to do that shit.
Winter Soldier, you're right. Yeah. So, the thing is, because that mirrors real life, right? Yeah, I mean, that's what we did in World War II, and we've done ever since we could steal other people's technologies and whatnot. But the reason I don't like it is because now it makes Wanda more of a gray character, even more, from a gray character to more of a heroic character. Because before, she stole Vision's body because he was something very important to her, but he had no say in what the situation was. Now they've kind of twisted it where like
she saved him.
Right, she saved him now instead, and I really dislike that because it makes it.
I think that you can have both.
You could.
I think Wanda stealing Vision's body is just like, it was grief. She wanted her body. They were taking him apart. Fuck them.
Yeah.
And also you can have weapons agency going, hey, let's take those fucking body parts and see if we can make a gun out of it.
I got really offended by, not offended, but I got really kind of into it with a friend of mine today. Because he's like talking about the sword director, and he's just going off about how evil this guy is and whatnot, and how much of a bad.
He really does not seem evil.
Well, here's the thing.
He seems like a General
He's
Ross.
a real shit dude. Right? You know what? Here, and I had to like say, I said this, I go, dude, okay, let's for a second look at Wanda, okay? She started off as a fucking terrorist working with Ultron.
Yeah.
She was forgiven for that, and she joined the Avengers because she helped the Avengers at the last moment, okay?
When she joined the Avengers, the Avengers were not a government agency.
Correct.
They were doing what the fuck they wanted.
When they wanted to. She was then responsible for the death of the people in Lagos. However you want to break it down, she saved Cap or whatever, but she's still, like we talked about last week, it was the whole train thing, and whatnot.
And it was enough for the Sokovian Accords to be like, hey, we need this shit now.
Yeah. Okay. Then so she's now goes on the run with Captain America.
She refuses to sign.
Right. She refuses to sign. She joins Captain America. Yeah. She fucks up that government place where they she's part of that fight in the Civil War that helps destroy that fucking government facility.
Are you talking about the airport?
Yeah, the airport. Right. Okay. So
she destroys the fuck out of the airport.
Right, exactly, right. And I mean, like, Vision and stuff like that have also that, but they are working on the side of the government, so what they do doesn't fucking matter to the government. Because they're trying to stop the people.
They've signed on.
Right, exactly. Then on top of that, now all of this, so the last time we've seen her and interacted with her, she is a wanted woman in Infinity War. She's on the run, meeting up with Vision every once in a while. Then she breaks into a sword location to steal Vision's body. Yeah. So this is like felony number 5 or whatever we're at. Then she kidnaps an entire town. Yeah. Okay. Like, how much we look at this, and the problem that like people
I would be like, she helped kill Thanos, but also we should probably still get her.
Right. Because here's, and the thing about it is it's like, we've always discussed on and I've always thought of myself as more of a team Iron Man kind of guy, because I'm like, you have to have some kind of checks and balances on these fucking people that are doing whatever they want to. I mean, right, but I'm
definitely a team Cap. Not that I like Captain, because I like Iron Man more than I like Captain America, but I do like the idea that if you're a superpowered person, and you can just do the right thing.
Sure.
You're not going to wait around for somebody to be like, it's okay to go do the right thing.
So,
I'd be like,
how far
I'll deal with the repercussions. Dude.
Like, so does that go
they
to
go in so they go like
Navy SEALs or something like that? Because Navy SEALs are much more capable than regular humans.
Superman, right? Sure. You're a big Superman.
Yeah,
right?
I'm a Superman.
And Superman's thing is, what is the responsibility of a perfect man?
Yeah.
Right? I think that the responsibility is for him to do what he thinks is fine.
Sure.
Insofar as he can't be stopped.
Sure.
And if you can stop him, well, then that's where he stopped. If you can't stop him, guess what? You have to listen to him because he's just God.
So then what turns a lot of the evil Superman stories from Supermans of other worlds and stuff like that
isn't
Ultraman is one of the most. What's that?
Red Sun?
No, Red Sun isn't evil. He's a communist version of Superman.
Oh, okay. So even better.
Well, I mean, if you're into communism, but so he imposes like the Soviet way,
sure,
right, like not freedom and stuff like that, but like order, right, like
part in the cog.
Yes, exactly, exactly that. Ultraman is probably like the most well-known evil Superman, and he basically turns his Earth into a criminal. The Justice League become the criminal syndicate, and they run like all the crime in that world and whatnot. While Lex Luthor is the hero in that world. So yeah, it's fucking crazy. So yeah, I don't know. Either way, what I was what we're trying to we both agree is like. This chick is pretty much out of fucking control at this point, doing whatever the fuck she wants.
She's definitely the kind of person that a government agency, tasked with keeping order, would want to get a hold of.
Right, to try to kind of keep this, and so that's why it's weird to me that you would even frame this guy as like an evil dude, because he's just a dude who's like...
He's no nonsense.
Right, and... I think the problem that we have is that we look at characters like Wanda because we're on the outside and we're looking at these superheroes as if they're superheroes. Yes. So we call them superheroes. Yeah. So we're fine with the things they do. But when you look at it from a person in that world,
which is how I watch these things.
Sure.
I watch these things as if they were real events.
Right.
Because that's the immersion is only heightened by pretending that it's real.
Yeah.
When I say that I suspend my disbelief, I go all in.
Yeah.
The disbelief is suspended to 100%.
100%. Right.
I'm watching real events.
Yeah.
And so when, this guy is doing shithead things that I don't agree with, I get them. Mm-hmm. I still disagree with them.
Sure.
Because I'm more on team... We can't outgun her. She's essentially a god. I don't know what you're playing at. That is more the team I'm on, but not you're wrong. I don't think he's wrong.
You have to approach it the same way that you tried to approach the Cap situation, right? You try to form a team of dudes who are just as powerful as Cap that are on your side with Team Iron Man. And so you would go to try to recruit Captain Marvel and be like, hey, look, this woman,
Although Captain Marvel is not even on this planet. I would probably go to, who would
Thor,
be around?
maybe?
Thor?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, because
how do you even get a hold of Thor?
He's in his weird state too,
and also not on the planet.
Right, yeah.
Post Thanos? What heroes are left?
Yeah, he's kicking it with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
you're right. So the new Avengers that they're forming is what the next thing is,
I guess it would have to be, because they can't go to Bucky or Captain. I mean, Bucky or Falcon, because they're gone. Captain's gone. Iron Man's dead. The Guardians are all gone. Fucking Pepper Potts isn't going to help you out. You could go to Iron Patriot, Rhodey.
Yeah.
Hey, Rhodey, can you help us out with Captain Marvel? You'd be like, she's going to fucking rip me apart.
Yeah, I don't know. That's problematic.
No one's there anymore.
Yeah,
that's interesting. What an interesting
you might have to start working with supervillains at that point.
Ooh, that'd be cool. But I'm right now.
That's the whole point of the Suicide Squad came about.
Sure, yeah. Right now, I'm starting to. I just kind of realized what state the MCU is in right now.
Yeah,
it's not in a great.
Oh, you know who
state.
you would obviously you would talk to Doctor Strange.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, that's the most clearly the most capable person of dealing with.
Yeah, okay. Doctor Strange or Hulk, maybe?
Yeah, but Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah, what a weird situation we're in, right?
There's very few people left that are down.
Yeah.
Bruce Banner, Doctor Strange, if you can find him.
Yeah.
Because he's
he's probably recreated his mansion. He's chilling in the mansion.
Sure. But who even knows about that mansion is what I'm saying. That mansion is
it's like Inception, right? It's folded in on itself.
No,
Harry Potter.
No, you can just go to it.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, because they do that.
When they were looking for Carmitage, or Armitage, or whatever the fucking place that was called, I think it was Carmitage.
Yeah.
He would looked around, until somebody was just like, I can take you there.
Yeah, but it was right in front of him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is no one knew about it.
Yeah.
It's not like you could look it up. Where does Doctor Strange live? Type shit. You know, I just think that there are few people who could even be asked. I think Hulk and Rhodey.
Well, or like we talked about, Reed Richards.
Oh yeah. Which would be great. But I think it would even be better if he was working with Monica Rambeau instead of the other guy.
Yeah.
Because I'm down for smaller government, less.
You know what would be a dream for me, right? If they showed up at a mansion and they were like, "We need your help.
And it's Dr. Doom.
One of your mutants is out of control. And then it's Professor X. I had to go speak to her.
And it was literally...
Yeah, bro.
Like, they literally started playing that.
Exactly. And the jet flies in. Right? Exactly. And Jean Grey comes flying out with it.
And it's Will McAvoy.
Yeah. Oh, man. I like where this is going.
No, I really hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll hook up with, we need a doctor on this, and then it'll be like Dr. Octopus shows up or some shit.
Dr. Ock?
Yeah.
Doc Ock? That'd be interesting, yeah.
Could be cool.
Or like Namor flies out of the sea and goes, I'll help. By the way, my tied for first, I think, is Namor. In between Namor and Reed Richards are like, that's the top of Marvel for me.
You're fucking weird, bro.
Why? They're so cool. They're both the coolest characters in the MCU.
I'm like a normal dude where I like Wolverine and characters like that. And
you're a salt of the earth kind of guy.
Yeah. No. I mean, I love Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is a big guy for me that I like a lot. But sure, I like the whole hell power like thing and whatnot, like using the power against those that I don't know. I kind of like that stuff. But I'm a big horror fan though. So
yeah, I think that's really what it is too. Because I don't like horror shit,
right?
And I actually don't like hell stuff. Yeah. It's all kind of cringy to me.
No, for sure, I get it.
That's like a late 80s kind of thing to me, like a
right.
kind of
Exorcist,
that kind of thing. And so I just like I like big characters, king characters, like top of their top characters.
Okay, sure.
And
so you're a fan of Doctor Doom too? Then?
Yeah, okay. Doctor Doom is also fucking cool. Like I really like. If you were to say what are the characters that you're most excited about the MCU trying to do right, I would say Reed Richards, Doctor Doom.
Oh, of course, because at least I agree with you. What I want to say, I agree with you 120% because. Well, I know you don't like them, but like at least Fox did the mutants pretty well, and they did like Deadpool very well, and they did like and they even
did some of the mutants really well. I can agree that some of the mutants were done.
And I mean, they did. I love the Juggernaut from Deadpool. I love the Juggernaut Cyclops from Deadpool. Right? Like I liked those characters a lot. So like
Cyclops from Deadpool.
I'm sorry, Colossus.
Oh,
Colossus from Deadpool.
Sure,
he was really fun too.
Yeah,
and like. And Cable, too. I loved Cable and Deadpool. I mean,
the Deadpool ones were done perfect.
Deadpool 2, I loved. Yeah. Deadpool 1, I thought was fine for what it was. It was just, here's a demonstration of what we're able to do and whatnot. And then
I feel like the Deadpool ones, they were just like, hey, since this is going to be for adults, and you don't really care about how much money we make, could we just do whatever we want?
Yeah. And can we make dildo jokes and pegging jokes?
And Fox was just like, dude, do whatever you want. Who gives a fuck? And they were just like,
well, hold on.
We're going to do it exactly like
They were like this. They were like, can you do it for $50 million? Or can you do it for $75 million? We can do it for 50. Done. Do whatever you want. Right, exactly. Exactly. Sure. And it was kind of a fight, but it definitely.
But they did exactly comic book style characters. Like that was such a 1-to-1 out of comics.
Right.
And it was really funny because it was Deadpool.
Yeah.
But like Cable, Colossus, and Juggernaut were like right out of the comics.
Dude, straight up, man. I absolutely. It wasn't like I was shocked. I was fucking shocked that they came out with that garbage Dark Phoenix film after how great the Deadpool movies were. Clearly, it's like Star Wars. It's like The Mandalorian, right? The fans are telling you, give us this, we'll give you all the money you want. Give us
after
this.
Logan.
Right.
Dude, Logan came out and everyone was just like, holy shit, nice job, holy fuck. And they were just like, okay, well, that's your one, because we're not going to do that.
Because now we're going to do pink face dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Apocalypse. Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do an Apocalypse storyline, you can do an Apocalypse storyline. I would even do it. It would have been really cool if you would have started off with like an Age of Apocalypse story. I'm sure you're not very familiar with that, but there was
also take your time is what you're saying.
Well,
right?
And so you could be very jarring and start off with an Age of Apocalypse storyline, and then you would jack it back. You would start off in this scene where Apocalypse is in control of the Earth, Professor X is dead, Magneto is the leader of the good guys, etc. And then you jack it back to what actually got us to this situation, and then you solve that.
Kind of like a Days of Future Past kind of thing.
But stretched over like 3 movies. Sure. And that Fox would have to be down with doing that. But like that's something that would have got X-Men fans excited.
It's just so sad because X-Men as a property, we can both agree, is the top.
Well, because it's the struggle of minorities in America. I mean, that's what it's really always been about.
Yeah,
right,
sure.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally the most compelling stories they have. the most compelling characters they have. And it's also what
because they're based in real life.
Yeah.
It's so much like they're not like the 1950s and 60s guys like Iron Man and Captain America that were just like these regular DC style heroes and whatnot. They're like, we are heroes that most people don't like us. Yeah. Like that's the thing is we're doing the right thing because it was really
the cops beat the shit out of us regularly.
Yes. And because it was really the story of specifically African Americans in the 60s, and it was like inspired very much so by like the black heroes of like World War II and Vietnam and all these different time periods that African Americans did great things for this country and came home and were absolutely shit on by by America. It's why I've always kind of given a little love to Stan Lee, because the guy really has. He's just another person in the pioneer of breaking down the racial issues that we still have going on. But right, exactly.
Like Lee and Ditko and all them.
Of course. Because it reached out to other people and been like, oh, do you like Professor X and Magneto? Oh, cool, because that's Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. Yeah. Like that's
you like him now?
Right, exactly. So like, I don't know, but to cycle back to more proper shit. Let me, again, this has nothing to do with WandaVision, but we're a Marvel podcast, so I don't give a fuck. Man, I cannot, for some reason, I am so fucking pumped to see some Black Widow, bro.
Yeah?
I've been reading a Taskmaster comic book recently, and fucking Taskmaster is awesome, man.
Oh, good.
And so I'm really anxious to see this Black Widow movie now, man. And
I mean, I've been anxious to see it since last year.
Right.
It was supposed to come out last year.
But I absolutely, here's the thing, right? Remember last year going into this, I was like, I don't want to see a fucking
all the
Black
time.
Widow. Of course, because I didn't want to, because I was kind of.
You bet against it.
Yes, I did bet against it. Because I was kind of tired after Spider-Man.
Yes.
I was just like, God damn,
you had reached some fatigue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now
a year off was good for you then?
Yeah. A year off of nothing new Marvel has got me like, all right, let's fucking do this, Marvel. Let's get back on the bike. Let's be champions again, bro.
And it's funny, I kind of like, through conversations with you, I think, turned myself into this fanboy that I have become.
Sure.
Because I wasn't expressly a fanboy before last year.
You enjoyed watching the movies.
I loved the movies. No, hold on. I loved the movies. I saw all of them night of, Like if I didn't see them night of, definitely opening weekend. And so it's not like I wasn't a huge fan.
Sure.
But I think there's a difference between a huge fan and this like person that I've, through like podcasting with you, become, which is just like this like, Marvel can do no wrong kind of human being. That happened over the course of a year of not having Marvel. So it's funny how you were pretty done and became excited for it.
Yeah.
And I was excited for it and became like obsessed.
Like
that year, really all it did was make fans bigger fans.
Right. I think you're right.
Regardless of what stage you were at.
So I saw an article the other day that was like, which movie is going to move first? Fast and the Furious 9 or Black Widow, because they're both like coming out the same month or whatever, May and whatnot. And like, they're going to have to move because of COVID and all this bullshit. Right. And I instantly had a thought like, dude, if I'm like, I know like Kevin Feige, right? If I'm Kevin Feige, bro, I am Jean-Luc Picard in First Contact. When like they come to me and they're like, move the damn date. Yeah. Kevin, no! I will not sacrifice our current date. We've made too many compromises already, too many retreats. The virus came and we moved the dates. They said wear masks and we moved the dates. Not again. The line must be drawn here. No further. I will make this damn movie.
That movie, that documentary about the kids who like broke into George Lucas's house to watch episode 3 or
episode 1. Yeah,
I'm gonna do that same shit to Kevin Feige.
Hell
If he doesn't let me watch Black Widow, I'm gonna drive across the country, break into his house, and watch that shit in his home movie theater.
I think that's an absolute great idea, bro.
That's reasonable, right?
Yes. No, that's legal at this point. Like, it's not even like, it's just straight up legal, bro. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that was another episode of A Year in Marvel. Please feel free to subscribe. No, you guys are probably already subscribed.
Of course.
Looking forward to tomorrow's episode. Did you hear me? I just put myself in a situation where I have to put this out on Thursday.
You better get it done.